So we're gonna get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude. This is one of the coolest packages you can get on the new Jeep Grand Cherokee L. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee L. Check out their inventory in the description down below. Let's hop right into the review. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outlets being 290 horsepower and then 257 pound-feet of torque. So let's go over the front end of the Altitude. First off, this color with the blacked out package just, yeah, looks fantastic. Anyways, you can see the body lines here on the hood. Coming down below, I love how you have the orange LED accent light with the reflector LEDs. I think that just gives it a really clean, sharp look. And you guys can see they're super bright, completely blowing up the camera filter. Notice the Jeep logo has been blacked out. The signature front grille has also been blacked out. Everything down here has been blacked out. You can see piano black trim, or not piano black, gloss black. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes, folks. And then we got our little flappy flap right there. But anyways, I think this looks so good with, again, the color combination of this particular one, but you know, having some of the trim blacked out versus having all that chrome. Just saying. So coming on the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see that the wheel has also been blacked out as part of this Altitude package. And then here's a quick look at what you can see with the front suspension. We have the fender flares right here, and then notice those kind of go into the side steps. And then notice the Grand Cherokee badge here on the side has been blacked out. The mirrors have also been blacked out. All of the window trim has been blacked out. And there is your full side view. Now here's a key fob for the Grand Cherokee L. You've got the Jeep logo there on the back, you've got the unlock, the lock, the remote start, and then the opening here for the hatch. And bada bing, bada boom, now that the hatch is opened, you guys can see we've got the storage space here in the back. Lifting this up, you can see the extra storage space underneath, and don't worry, I'll get that back in place in just a moment. But you guys can see you've got a 12 volt right here. You've got this that you can pull so you can throw down the seat so you can get a little bit of extra storage space here in the rear. And also, that actually put this back in place. I just killed two birds with one stone. That's amazing. Anyways, press that and, well, wait for it. Wait a little bit longer. Now it's closed. Now let's go over everything here in the rear. So you can see all of the blacked out trim here around the back window, and then you can see here with the taillights, again, the blacked out trim with that. We have the blacked out badges here in the rear with the Jeep logo, all that fun stuff. Parking sensors down below, and then you can see the bezel covering the receiver hitch. And other than that, well, that's all for the rear. Now here's the door panel in the back. I really like this trim right here. It looks really good. Notice you got really nice padding where you're gonna rest your arm with the contrasted white stitching. And here's a look at the seat. So again, you've got the leather with the stitching, and then notice how we have the inserts here in the center, which look really good. All of your adjustments on the seats, and yes, you can throw the seat back so you get a little bit of extra space. Let's pop in. You guys can see headroom is great, legroom is great. We have our climate controls here for the rear vents just down below, and then the outlet with all of the USBs, cup holders, all that fun stuff. And then you guys know my opinion on the third row. It is usable for kids, 100%. Adults, I would recommend just doing those over short trips in a pinch, all that fun stuff. Anyways, let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. Again, you can see that really nice dark metallic gray trim, and then the padding with the stitching down below. All of our window controls right here, automatic for the front. You've got your mirror adjustment right there. And then you guys can see here with the mirror, you've got the blind spot monitoring, and then here is the seat at the front. So you guys can see I can pop the headrest up like that. Got all the really nice stitching, and then you guys can see the perforations here in the center, and then here, look at the bolstering. Power adjustments there on the side. Pedal layout just down below. We've got the parking brake right here. We've got this for the light control, and there's where I'm looking before we pop in. So here is the steering wheel for the Grand Cherokee L. First off, you guys can see a really nice trim here at the bottom, then more of that dark gray metallic. You can see the contrasted stitching here, really nice leather all around the steering wheel. Jeep logo there on the center portion. You can see we've got our adaptive cruise control here, paddle shifters on the back for the 8-speed automatic, controls for the center stack, and then you got like your phone controls, all that fun stuff. Turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. So here's the center gauge cluster. Sorry about the glare there on that side. I can kind of hide it with my hand so you can see the RPMs. But anyways, there's a few different screens you can scroll through here in the center to give you different bits of information on the Jeep. It is similar information-wise to what you were able to see with the previous generation Grand Cherokee, aka that one. But obviously this whole center stack looks a lot nicer than what you had with the previous generation. Other than that though, that's all for that. So we've got the center infotainment system and then more controls here. We've got our auto stop start, lane departure, stability control, hazard lights. We have this for the parking sensors, and then this is for the sport mode to turn that on or off. And then here's the infotainment system itself. First off, we pop it in reverse. We got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. Then you have that zoom function here for the camera. As for the rest of the screen, response time is really good here with the buttons, and I think the overall integration here into the dash is really nice. This is one of the nicest integrated infotainment systems I have seen in the car industry, because it looks like this infotainment system was actually built for the dash rather than just like a tablet that's been plopped on basically. And then notice the trim here on either side with the stitching that looks really nice. We've got our analog controls here for the climate system, and then we have heated seats, heated steering wheel for the front, and then you guys can see here with the little charging area, a bunch of USBs, 12 volt, all that fun stuff. Then you can see the trim that covers that. And then here is the dial shifter here for that 8-speed automatic. Couple cup holders here, and you can see the lights. And then here's the center console. You can see that with the storage space, all that fun stuff. And then you guys can see the glove box over here, and again, more dark metallic gray trim, kind of see how that all connects. And then finishing things up, we have this little button here to open up the hatch at the top, and then this has like a manual mirror dimmer. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now here's a window sticker for this Altitude. You guys can see the base price before options have been added. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read all of the equipment that comes standard. And then here's the optional equipment with this. Notice it deletes the Laredo badge because it's not Laredo anymore. It's an Altitude, even though it's built off of Laredo. But anyways, you can see all the options that come with it. And then there's your total MSRP, $47,350. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors to do a blind spot. And then throughout the rest of the rear, let's set off. We are setting off here in this Grand Cherokee L Altitude. And if you guys watch my second channel, then you know that I voted the new Grand Cherokee L as one of the best vehicles that was released last year. It's just such a solid vehicle. I'm just making sure the lights are on. Okay, they're in automatic mode, so we're good. Oh, also, you know what, guys? I've had a long day. This is number 6 for car reviews today, which is a lot of cars to review in one day, believe it or not. And that's on top of the filming for the second channel. But let's actually talk about the Grand Cherokee L rather than my first world problems. In terms of the ride quality of it, it's really good. Really nice vehicle. It's a great daily driver, really comfortable. It definitely gives you kind of more of like a luxury car feel driving around. Jeep nailed it with the suspension. And the seats definitely lent to that as well. These seats are very nice and supportive, but they're also like just very comfortable. This is the type of seat that you can sit in for a very long time, long road trips, and it'd be great. And I definitely do like the inserts here, so it's not like all leather, because it kind of stays a little bit more neutral temperature wise, which is great here in the winter. It does have heated seats anyways, which is a huge plus, but it's kind of like, you know, dual thing with that. Okay, so we are taking a turn here. We're gonna get a slight acceleration, then we'll get our full-blown acceleration up here in a moment. And that 8-speed is just so responsive. Sport mode on. It feels cool because you like press this button at the top and you, I don't know, you kind of feel like you're in an airplane almost. I kind of dig the whole setup they have with that. So we're gonna get our acceleration here. Yeah, really good from an acceleration perspective. Gonna pop it out of the sport mode so that it goes into a higher gear, kind of calms down a little bit. Yeah, really good. This V6 is more than enough power. And so let's get into setting things up here with this Grand Cherokee L Altitude. First off, exterior wise, I think it's really good looking, and for the 2021 model year, you couldn't get a blacked out limited, blacked out package with the Overland or the Summit, and so this is the way that you get a cool looking Jeep Grand Cherokee, and this is a little bit less expensive than a limited, and so you're getting this really cool exterior appearance, and you get a lot of the, you know, features of the limited. You have the adaptive cruise control. It's got nice seats. It's got heated seats. It's got a heated steering wheel. It's got a nice interior. And so you get a lot of benefits with the limited, but you're not paying limited price. And then on top of that, it looks really cool. So it's a great value package. And so overall, you know, in terms of the Grand Cherokee Ls, you guys know I definitely, that Hemi Overland, definitely love that. But what I would have to say is this is definitely a strong second for me, and I think this is the best value, right? Because not a lot of people are going to be buying the Hemi anyways. I just like speed. But if you're looking for like a really good daily driver, you know, luxury feeling SUV, you're not paying luxury prices for, and you also want to save some money, and you want to look cool, Grand Cherokee L Altitude definitely does all of that. It's a really good package, and I'd recommend looking into it. Yeah, that's going to sum things up for our video on this 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude. Very hard to say. Anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee L. Check out their inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.